This is More FM 104.7. Iconic Radio.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
They're everywhere. They're unpatriotic. They have a dislike for anyone who loves this country. Their pretense, deceit, and hypocrisy can be seen in every aspect of our society. Be aware, they are the enemy. Let's fight them together. The Ground Report on More 104.7 FM.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
I would think that they've been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Some bills. More FM will be right back.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M104.7 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Burger Specialist is doing it again. The breakfast menu is now available. Chicken and waffles, wraps, bagels, pancakes, and of course, our smashing breakfast burger and so much more. Only at The Burger Specialist. Remember to ask about our signature burgers. Call or WhatsApp 769-9222. That's 769-9222. Located at the intersection of Macoya Road and the Priority Bus Route in Tunapuna. The Burger Specialist. We make breakfast great.
Warrell Regis and Company Limited, Sun and Main Road Enterprise, Chaguana. Services offered are new tire and battery sale. We inspect private and commercial vehicles, mechanical repairs, fleet maintenance, tire alignment, wheel balancing and rotation, nitrogen installation, auto body repair, authorized agency for all major insurance, windshield replacement, wrecking services. We are open Mondays to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, contact 665-3377. Warrell Regis and Company Limited.
Trinity Lighting, 123 Western Main Road, St. James. Special on Lumina LED bulb. Purchase 4 LED bulbs for $100, get 2 free. Trinity, they stock a wide variety of electrical supplies and specialize in light bulbs and parts for all your residential, commercial, marine, and medical fixtures. Remember, buy 4 LED bulbs for $100, get 2 free. 628-8373 or 622-6935. Check them out on Facebook, Trinity Lighting ETC LTD, or shop online at trinityetc.com. In the Miami area, contact them at 305-354-2033 or 305-932-0727. Remember, be safe and wear your mask. Trinity Lighting welcomes you to their main store, 123 Western Main, St. James.
There's a new drink that's transforming what you expect from a beverage. U-Juice is 100% natural and has the power of red ginseng, turmeric, ginger, and the world's strongest antioxidant, astaxanthin. Your new favorite drink has arrived. U-Juice, en route to the ultimate you.
U-Juice. And when me drink, we got a natural boost.
Every word. Every line. Every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
It's More FM Soca Zone 22.
DJ run it again.
For all your new soca, it's More FM.
I turn up the fed till it's on over. I turn up the fed till it's on over.
It's More FM Soca Zone.
There is no better time. Oh yeah, we doing it. 104 doing it.
For all your new soca, we bring carnival to your home.
Yo, it's yours truly, college boy Jesse, and right now you're listening to 104.7 Soca Zone.
Look where one lash could do.
Iconic 104.7.
Look where one lash could do.
Yeah, busy man Blackie. So put on the safest station.
More FM, Soca Zone. Only place for soca lovers. Give them a lash, More FM.
So put on the safest station. Iconic Radio.
104.7 is the only soca zone you don't have to get vaccinated.
So low we nah. I said low we, just low we nah. I said low we nah. Hey low we, just low we nah.
So we bring the jump, the wave, and the spirit to you.
No car to listen, soca hard on M104.7. Base, aka the trilogy says so.
It's More FM Soca Zone.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M104.7 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
We understand your pain. We understand your sorrow. Let's get rid of these taxing line thieves. We need your financial support. Make your deposit at any First Citizens Bank account number 23000045. The Ground Report. Let's keep your voice alive.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
I would think that they've been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders and my elders, and those in authorities. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number 2, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob, but you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you, because we choose them, we vote them, we blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief, is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame. What a travesty. It calls for us to think and think deep. The stage we are in as a country is not a stage where you become an onlooker. You have become an onlooker for too long. You must get ready to put your hands to the plow and be part of the process. It's not just about PVC, carry PVC. Be in the kitchen where it is being determined. You must be there where the decisions are being made. We are there in our numbers, they cannot outnumber us. But you leave it aloof. Oh, you know, it's too dirty. It's a dirty game. It's always dirty on us, dirty on your health, dirty on your business, dirty on your success and your career. I hope that is stirring up something in you.
Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed. Cuff, are you there? Cuff?
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. You're sounding bubbling and ready to go. Of course, the fake, I will call it the fake Carnival Tuesday has come to an end, and the fake Merry Monarch would have, of course, done what it would have had to do, but of course only in people's head, in the majority, because you cannot take, let me start there before I even give mornings, because I am so angry this morning on several fronts. But I want to tell the population that that exercise was a fake one and another deception on the part of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to also add the abuse, the misappropriation of our scarce but resources belonging to taxpayers. I cannot understand and will not understand and refuse to comprehend that you will take $15 million, so they say so far. We know it could be more, but I want to be correct in what the officialdom has said. $15 million to institutionalize segregation in this country. Let me repeat that. You have taken $15 million, not for the first time during the course of this particular administration, because we saw it as well with respect to children going to school, and realize that it is a bungling, dotish, asinine, inane, and of course unaccomplishable task. But this administration continues, of course, and I have no difficulty if it is their own money. I have no difficulty if it is their own business. I have no difficulties if they were in private enterprise and doing that. The thing about it is that they are public people, because we are paying them from the public purse, and therefore you cannot institutionalize segregation against the people. You took $15 million and institute a segregative so-called taste of Carnival, and you want those who would have contributed to it, that is to say, the non-vaccinated, would have contributed to what only the vaccinated could have enjoyed, our $15 million, and you are comfortable with that, and telling us that it was our choice. No, it was your choice.
You created, I'm talking about the government here, created the segregation, the fragmentation of the society, and they will pay the price, as we have seen across the country, whether it's started by the various pushbacks, but of course culminating and not yet complete with respect, of course, to that debacle, that destruction, that disaster in Tobago, when, of course, in spite of the manipulation of 3 seats added in order to get an unfair advantage, the people sounded the warning and raised the alarm bell in Tobago that will, of course, transfer to Trinidad when the time is right. And I am saying that time must be by the ending of the first quarter of this year. I thought it was important to say that now that the fake and false and segregative Merry Monarch has come to the end, as far as this taste of carnival is concerned. I want to be as contemptuous as possible. I want to be as ridiculing as possible to demonstrate, of course, as all right-thinking compatriots will do. You cannot take $15 million and institutionalize segregation. All had a right to access because it is our money. It doesn't work like that. Our whole country was born as a consequence of that kind of bigotry and that kind of segregation. We're talking about the Boston Tea Party, when the Americans told their British domineering and, of course, colonial masters, no taxation if you don't have representation. No taxation without representation. And we see this government has actually practiced that in 21st century Trinidad and Tobago and modernized and technologically advanced world. I think that is very important. No taxation without. Take your own money. If them put up the money, Dr. Rowley and them put up the money and so on, and Gypsy and all them, and they use $15 million, I have no problem. But you cannot tell me that I cannot participate in an event, a national event, that took my money, and I must accept that just like that. You understand why and how important pushback number 4 is, and they're very lucky we didn't have the time, because pushback number 4 was really supposed, and I can talk that now that the carnival, the so-called carnival is over, the fake carnival is over. I can tell you it was something, of course, that is why we were talking about costume, to, of course, descend on the Queen's Park Savannah one day, vaccine or no vaccine, with our costumes, and of course to display our disgust and total contempt for that level of segregation institutionalized with 15. The government must not benefit, must not and cannot and will not benefit from having taken our money and spend it in that way and believe it's honky-dory, and that, of course, they will get away with all the iniquities of the past. And, of course, and as they continue, whether it's tear gassing, locking up people, or debarring us from praying and limiting our time and telling us that we cannot, of course, have a religious procession subsequent to. No, we must push back at every level. So I thought I should get that out of the way in the first instance. Coffee, you will come in with respect to what is happening on the social media platform. Andy will be coming in a little later. The other issue I want to raise is the whole question of, and I know Andy that would be music to Andy's ears, because I know that he has a interest in that regard. But of course, we have the Education Facilities Company Limited that has been wound up. In other words, they close it down, but it owing people. But they close it down because they cannot, of course, continue with the financing of it. But it has outstanding matters, and we are not yet clear as to what is going to happen with the outstanding debts. We know, with respect, of course, to that fake closing down or reason for closing down Petrotrin, we know that there's a holding company called, of course, Petrotrin Holding, that is dealing with what is called legacy issues. People that are owing, but they have to have that there because there's international financiers and creditors that they are owing. but because most of the companies that are being owned by the Education Facilities Company are small companies and strictly local companies, the government believed that it could take that kind of arbitrary and unilateral and of course very, very pernicious act by closing it down and not telling the people when they will get their monies. Well, I want to thank God first, and thank, of course, the independence of the judicial system, at least those persons who are sincere about their work and justice and fairness. Judge Frank C. Prasad, he just delivered a judgment which I think many of those persons who are being owed by the Education Facilities Company and have not been paid, but the government decided to close it down, throwing in limbo their investment and the monies that they would have expended and the expectation that they would have gotten paid, even though it has taken a very long time. I want to thank, of course, the judgment, that particular judgment, with a WASA contractor who, of course, completed his job in 2015. And Frank C. Prasad said that the WASA, and by extension, as far as we are concerned, the government was unfair, was arbitrary, was wicked. And he mentioned, of course, political biasness and high-handedness in this particular judgment, where, of course, he said that the people are entitled with interest to get their money, because the government, as we have seen with many of the projects under the Education Facilities Company and the others that they have put several contractors in court for, are talking about the so-called setting up of a cartel with those major companies. But I'm not concerned with those major companies now. I'm concerned with the smaller companies. But the principle is the same, and that is you cannot, after you gave approval that the job was completed, and then afterward looking to review what? The company that was responsible for giving out the contract said that they accepted the fact that the job was done well. Why would you now want to come and do an additional review and then say that somehow unilaterally, based on politics, that those jobs that was essentially completed when the last administration, the UNC administration under Kamala Prasad Bisesa was completed, you sign off on it and then come to talk about now you want to review? Well, that judgment, I am sure, will be dangled in the faces of the government to make them understand. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and appeal that judgment, but the outcome, I suspect, will be the same, because it's about justice here. You cannot unilaterally and arbitrarily, and of course in that unjust and evil with small people having invested their monies, and the company say yes, the job was well done, and you now come and say you want to review jobs that the company who was responsible for giving the contract in the first place are independent by and large, except of course for the political inputs as far as the directors is concerned. But the company said, and you have to go with that fact, the company said that the job was finished and was well done. Why is it keeping back payment as a whole, or payment and balance of monies that these companies are owing? EMBD is another one I wanted to refer to with respect to, of course, the so-called cartel talk that the government had come up with. And the same companies, I saw Jusamco, and there are pictures on it, pouring concrete on that what I consider to be gangster construction site, political gangster construction site up at Balize House. I saw that, and that belongs to Junior Sammy, that company, Jusamco. So where is the ethics? Where is the moral? Where is the fairness? Where is the judgment in terms of making certain that this is a equitable society? Why? Because a new government coming to office, anybody that was associated with the previous one must pay a political price in terms of victimization and vindictiveness. No, that must not be and cannot be. The final one, of course, let me just say, is that, of course, last night I got about 2 or 3 views, no, not views, but of course comments on the whole question of Victor Roberts and something to do with Andy and so on. And I think we made it clear. I made it clear yesterday. So I want to reiterate for those who may have a different version and who want to create kankata, as they say, and bacchanal and a public spat and unnecessary imbroglio. I want to say that the Ground Report has nothing against Roberts, Victor Roberts. In fact, I want to say I feel proud to know that Victor Roberts has been in the forefront, in a sense, to highlighting, just as we have been doing, the ills of the community. And I want to say, in the early days when we were promoting, of course, when Petrotrin summarily, after Dr. Rowley said that he will not be closing down Petrotrin, the government will not be closing it down. We, the Ground Report, was down in Deep South, following Victor Roberts, and they organized and they accommodated us, and we felt very nice to know that we have somebody and people in the Deep South that are prepared, of course, to march, to walk, and invited us down when the Prime Minister was supposed to give a speech down there on the whole question of the offering of lands, and he never showed up when we were down there. But the fact is that we have had a development and a relationship as it evolved into what it is today, and we have anybody trying to create division between us will not succeed. I would be calling, of course, Victor Roberts this morning just to make sure I put in an intervention, because the kind of concerns that they have, I think it is unwarranted, unnecessary. I wouldn't even repeat it, except to say that Victor Roberts has been with us from ever since that period, since the closure of Petrotrin. And of course, I want to say, in my very office, there was a particular organization that he created, which was, of course, spearheaded in terms of the foundation and the developing of the concept on paper. I was an integral part of that, so therefore nobody could bring any division between us. And I want to say we are on the same page. And after today, I want that matter to rest, because I'll be contacting Victor to just make sure that if he has a concern, because the same information that we are getting, the same information he would get by persons who clearly are not concerned about national development and the advancement of our people, and trying to deflect attention away from the iniquities, the evil, and the failures, multiple and consistent failures of this administration. We just got $15 million spent on a so-called carnival exercise that institutionalized segregation, and those are the issues that we must be concerning ourselves with. So I want to assure Victor Roberts, I want to assure that those who are trying to make and create division, that they will not succeed, because we, in terms of our united cause, for one purpose, and that is to get rid of the iniquities and the evil that is Dr. Rowley and his government, having regard to the abuse and the misappropriation across the board, whether it be resources, financial, or whether material, and of course distributing it to their friends and family. And let's not waste time. We know, you know, out there, whether you're sycophant, apologists, and so on, but the whole of Trinidad and Tobago know the intent and the only conclusion you could draw when a government deliberately eviscerate, disembowel the procurement legislation. We know what that means, and we know too that because of the recusement, and there's a nexus between recusement and the disemboweling of that particular piece of legislation, simply because they don't want anybody to know, the procurement regulator, to investigate matters relating to Dr. Rowley's government and his cabinet, he being the chairman of the cabinet and the prime minister. He doesn't want anybody to know the details of the arrangement between Stuart Young's brother and his company, and the monies that he was hired to borrow for on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago to satisfy several budgets. He doesn't want us to know that the importation of medical equipment connected, of course, to Al-Rari's family, and he doesn't want us to know what are the details in the arrangements with respect, of course, to government arrangements, the last of which we know so far is those boats that were acquired, so-called acquired from Australia. So we know all of that. And that is common knowledge. Why you think the Tobagonians act in that way? Why you think they rejected $50 million for the 2020 August 10 general elections, and then another 50 million, another distinguished 50 million just before the THA elections. For what? For an exercise that is not only in futility, but could never happen in the immediate or medium term, and that is the revival or the expansion of tourism in Tobago. Those two different periods of $50 million was to do the same thing, to enhance the so-called tourism assets of Tobago, whether it be small hotels, large hotels, bed and breakfast facilities, as well as guest houses, and so on, relating, of course, to tourism, so-called tourism. We know they were in effect slush funds set up by this government to try to hoodwink the people of Tobago, in particular in this case, and in general Trinidad and Tobago. But all of us are now aware, and therefore pushback number 4 must be one of extreme significance, and we must make them know that that exercise in bigotry, that exercise in division, that exercise in fragmentation will not succeed either. Every single thing. When the gods are ready for you, Dr. Rowley and others, who the gods wish to destroy, they first send them mad, and it's only mad all going. But that's all right, with the abuse of our treasury and our resources. I thought it was important, of course, to lay the cards on the table there, and there is no animosity between ourselves and Victor Roberts. Of course, last night on the corridor transformation, I saw, as I said, 3 or 4 messages like that, and I thought it was important, of course, to include that in the 3 items that I am very, very, very disturbed and angry about this one, and you should be also. Cuff, anything on social media? If not, of course, let us go straight to the lines.
Good morning. Good morning. I want to say good morning to you, Lennox Smith. Good morning to Mikey K and Andy Williams, the People of Radio. Also, good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, the listening public on 104.7 FM, and the viewers on realmediatt.com, Facebook, YouTube. I want to say good morning to Nadira. Good morning to Daro, Ali Trini, Central Ramlal, Rajendra Maharaj, Anne Marie, Ahmed as well. Good morning to Somati Gardine, Bisnath Prasad, Robbie Thomas as well. Good morning to Lace Peterkin. Also, good morning to Susie Kabuzi, Jenna Charles as well, Derek Crooks, Donna Gawkin, Alvin Ramnarine. Good morning to you, Kamati, Lutchman James. Also, and Emery, Boodram John. Good morning to you, Matilda Rhodes. Serena Ramdas, good morning to you. Good morning to Mina Steiner. Jenny Lalji. I'm hearing a background from you, Lennox.
On my side? I don't know what's happening here. Alright, let me check and see.
Also, Ruby Sami, good morning to you. Hemraj C. Prasad.
I think I've taken off everything that may be responsible for that. Alright, go ahead. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, we have Trinidad Beaches, Lynette, Quintal as well, Judy Gore, Kira Lugo. Good morning to you guys. Hope you guys have a good morning. You can go right ahead, Lennox.
Yes, indeed. But of course, let me say formally, of course, good morning to everybody, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web. A pleasant good day to you. Yes, indeed. This is, of course, the fake or pseudo Ash Wednesday in relation to Carnival, but of course, all respects, of course, to the Christian community, the Roman Catholic community in particular, because I know this is a significant day for you. So I want to extend our deep regards for all of you who celebrate this particular occasion on the calendar of the Roman Catholic. The numbers to call, of course, we'll open up the lines very early. 229-0251. 229-0251. For the new callers, of course, let me repeat that number again. 229-0251. And then, of course, we have 239-5120. So take note. 239-5120, and the WhatsApp number, of course, for special purposes, which of course will be explained by Cuff. That number is 366-3053. 366-3053. So of course, I trust that we would have laid that.
We lost you, Lennox. Okay, while we await Lennox Smith, let me say good morning to Julia Pierre Trotman. Camilla P as well. Yeah, so we seem to have lost him. We're awaiting him, and we'll get right to those calls as soon as he gets back. Of course, the number is 229-0251, 229-0251. 239-5120, 239-5120, or for foreign WhatsApp calls 366-3053, 366-3053.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, I don't know what transpired there. But my apology. I don't know. Well, there was in fact a break on transmission from you speaking, and I asking if you heard me, and you continue to speak. So I know that you won't. So am I clear now?
Yes, you're clear.
Yes, okay then. Of course, the numbers to call, once again, of course, we go straight to the lines. As I was saying, who God bless, no man curse. And of course, as I said earlier, there's the Latin expression, I think it might be Greek as well, that of course, who the gods wish to destroy, they first send them mad. And those persons who are trying to create wedge and division, certainly you will not succeed. And I was saying as well, let me just reiterate, pleasant good morning to all and sundry, once again, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web. You have the numbers as soon as somebody comes. We have a number. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Lennox. Pushback 4 coming to a cinema near you, starring Andy Pitbull Williams. Yes. That's right. Lennox, careful how you quoting them saying, because remember Patrick Manning, Wednesday morning, Ash Wednesday morning, he used to be saying down in the Roman Catholic Church, the white people religion, and sit down with a big X on the forehead, and he said that the quote I can't remember all, but go to I will walk to the valley of what something and something, and no evil shall come to me, or so I can't remember the whole thing. But then again too, he said that, and he was aspiring preacher, and Rowley's come and walk over on him, and he got a stroke. So them thing don't work. and the what I really call another humor this morning is that Monday morning was Juve and it's have devil mass. So Rowley and Sharon was walking in front of the judges and they gave them the best individual devil costume, natural devil costume, and they were well greased too. So they had a natural devil look for them, and the judges award them the first prize for the best devil couple, right? Yes, indeed. And lastly, before I go, this part with Andy and Victor, and I am a follower of Victor, and I know the man. The man is a sincere man, right? But I must say, I'm not criticizing anybody on the Ground Report, however, because I'm a follower, and I'll be criticizing myself if I do, right? But Andy have this habit, right? That the case taken from the Santa Cruz, once you do follow Andy's agenda, right, he will come on the radio and lambast you like he did with Santa Cruz, and the same thing he did. He would do it any other body who run foul of his ideas, and he have to stop that, right? That is all I have to say. Thanks.
Yeah, but of course you cannot take that scenario and superimpose it on what transpired with Ms. Santa Cruz and so on. Those are two different matters. There are persons who, of course, are generally attempting to make mischief because, I mean, if there were comments made by Victor Roberts, it must have been through third parties, as far as I am concerned, because of course he has not, and he and I have a very good relationship. As I said, his first organization, when we first saw him, and I told him, I said, he reminds me of myself. He in the south and I am in the north. I think we could make a beautiful contribution nationally. All that talk we spoke. So I am not going to not going to say that is on his own volition. I'm saying that is intermediate, but it may well be Trojan horses. That's to say, persons who may be close or who may be pretending that they are acting in each party's interests, and then of course achieve the agenda of deflecting attention from the objective, which is of course Dr. Rowley, the government, the failures, and so on. And incidentally, in spite of Likoto, Dr. Rowley probably didn't see that part of the scripture that says evil could never prevail over good. Let's continue. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, somebody was saying, I don't know, just asking a question. If Boat 5 in the Point of Pierre refinery was being repaired for crude oil from Venezuela, because that was done for 20 years and they don't have need for that right now. So I want researchers to find out that. Thank you. Because America tied up with Russia business, so they figure America don't have the eye on them. Thank you.
That may well be a case, because I was surprised when they talk about crude oil, and it's Paria they're talking about, when Paria's job is to import, and I don't think it will come from the sea. Well, technically from the sea, in that it will come by boat and so on. I'm talking about the fuels that we use, whether it's soup, whether it's the gasoline in other words, premium or super, or the various oils and so on that will come in cans and so on. You may well have a point there, so we will look into it. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning, Lennox.
Good morning to you.
Report your way.
Hey, how are you going, man?
All right. Here what happened. You see a stop line fella we just called? Tell him if he can't put sugar, don't put no salt now. Tell him I say, me, Freeport say he's a blasted liar. I just listen to program too. I wouldn't take side. I know Andy, and let's hear Victor. But tell him, don't take no side. And the next man, tell Silver Fox, don't call him Silver Fox, call him a Silver Snake. I hear him very good last night. And he is one of the instigators of what taking place. Right?
Well, I want to say, it may well be because of misinformation that they would have. They would have been abreast of I don't want to belabor this particular matter anymore. I told you that I will communicate. I tried to communicate before I come on this morning to let the parties know that I'll be addressing that matter. In fact, I want to confess that I told Andy that I'll be addressing that matter as well, and it is of deep concern to me, having regard, of course, to the fact that it is taken away from, of course, the focal point, and which is of course to treat with this failed administration under Dr. Rowley, and of course having just completed $15 million to divide the people more. And I thought I should make an intervention here as one of the senior people and one of those who have been intrinsically involved in, of course, the development of making sure that we unite in such a way so as to focus on one mission, and that's to say to get rid of, let's face it, to get rid of that evil that has beset us under the guise of government and governance led by Dr. Rowley. Good morning.
Morning to the big old man.
Good morning to you. Somebody was joking the other day, and they said they wonder if you mean Big Wood or Big Wood. So I had to say.
Well, you have to share, you have to explain that, because some was spelling W-O-R-D and some was spelling W-W-D. So
W-O-R-D. Yeah. Well, I had to tell him no, he meant W-O-R-D and not W-W-D.
Yeah, Lennox, where you are going? Victor Roberts and Andy is two general of the same party.
Of course.
The people outside making mischief. A lot of mischief outside. So I have confidence in Victor Roberts, I have confidence in Andy Williams. You are the same team. We're fighting for the same battle against the same enemy. So don't let all them stupid people on the outside trying to throw big stone in me right and make me feel that this one against that one and nobody against nobody. And I know you.
That's right. They will not succeed.
They won't succeed. I mean, they'll try, but they won't succeed. It's two Chinese soldiers we are, and we are on the same army, and we fighting for the same team. I love telling us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. And that seemed to be rational. As I said, I do want to take this matter further. What we need to do is to focus on pushback 4. And of course, when you come in and you get an opportunity, you then, of course, push back 4 as we move inexorably towards, of course, as I said, my impression, my hope, my desire, my intention, of course, having regard to what's going to happen internationally and what's going to happen regionally and so on, in spite of what is happening in the Ukraine and, of course, in Russia, because the government, I'm sure, is sharpening their chops for the windfall that will now come as a consequence of the rise in oil and gas prices, and then tell us that it's because of prudent management of the economy they were able, of course, to achieve the windfall. And more importantly, they must not get access to that money to abuse it once again. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone. Pushback 4 coming soon or whatever. I can't remember the particular date. But nevertheless, I have a very serious issue with one of the callers just that attacked the white man religion. Many of us in Trinidad and Tobago are born-again Christians, not just Catholics. I have issues with Catholics also. That doesn't mean that he should attack the Christian religion on the whole and try to make it as though it is a white man's religion. That is totally evil. If he's Hindu or whatsoever, nobody comes on the ground report and attacks their religion. Why is he doing that? That is totally evil. That is nasty of him, and all he's doing is causing segregation in the country. That is what he should not be doing that on the ground report at all. Totally disgusting what that man did by calling out and saying about the white man's religion and how, if anybody was protected. Anybody's protected under the other religion? We are living in a fallen world. And evil happens because people do certain things, actions and things in their life. Manning wasn't a perfect man, so if anything bad happens to him, it's because of his own deeds, not because God didn't protect him. Right? Secondly, the lady last week that called in and said about people are just that Rowley got sick more than once from COVID and whatsoever. It's very possible that he did, but what that has to do with people dying all over the place, from almost everybody dying when they get COVID, that is a blatant lie.
When you look at the statistics around the world, almost 99% of people survive, and the majority of those that survive don't ever have any sort of adverse side effects. So what is this kind of propaganda people pushing just for political purpose? We are supposed to be pushing back against the government, and we are supposed to be speaking facts and truths, not coming out and encouraging more propaganda and fear-mongering, because that is fear-mongering when she's saying that people are dying in the majority when they get COVID. The majority of people don't even need to be hospitalized. The majority of people outside here when they get COVID barely get any sort of symptoms. So what utter nonsense people come in on the program and pushing fear into people while saying things like that. That is totally wrong. And lastly, I want to clarify again when I said about Kamala last week. When I sent the message on WhatsApp, I don't mean for Kamala to take over the pushback movement or become a member of the ground report team. All I am saying is that she has the commanding power of over 300,000 citizens in Trinidad, and therefore she needs to use her voice to encourage them to come out to the pushback, not protest, but whatever you all call it, right? That is what she is supposed to be doing, and if she can make a presence known and seen there in support of the movement, that is what is the type of leadership role she should take up. Now have a blessed and wonderful morning. God bless you all.
Good morning.
Yeah. It had a man come on this planet. God sent a man called Jesus Christ on this planet, and they crucified a man for doing good. That's what he's trying to do with Andy Williams. Andy Williams, if we had 10 Andy Williams in this country, it would have been a better place to live. The man take bullets for we. The man does go all out. The man take any time, push back. The man, look how much good thing Andy Williams does do now, boy. Don't watch me, man. All who criticizing and chastising this man, boy. I tell you, Jesus went through so much horror and they kill him. Andy Williams, stay up, boy, and just watch me, Andy, boy. You're a man, let me go way back, look, and watch me. I feel sorry the way they treat this man, you know, boy. Lennox, Mighty, I'm sorry how them bitches and them treat my brother, boy. A man who fighting for betterment in this country. Which remind me about Marshall yesterday. Listen, TNT, you see this country, this country, they don't know what they want. I want all them who chastising the same man they call Marshall, right? They should go in Ukraine and spend one day and one night. And if they come back, let me know. You hear what I'm saying? Listen, these people don't know what they want, boy. The Fiction Bagon doesn't know what the hell they want. Marshall Montano, Brian Lara, Dwayne Barrow, these men is heroes in India. Eh? You hear what I'm saying? And they were invited to some, so it wasn't a party like a carnival party. Some religious thing they had it. But after the fair, the man sing and thing, boy. And people like Marshall, boy. He represents TNT, dog. These people, Brian Lara is a hero. People go in India from this country. And when they say from Trinidad, people don't know which part it is, where that is. And when they say Brian Lara country, everybody start to hug him up. You see the difference here, boy? Let me tell you something. Most of them who chastise Marshall, they're racial and it's Indian. Let me tell you, dog, they're racial and it's Indian. They feel Marshall might go in India and take some Indian girl or what? That's what they're fighting for. Them man talk, watch me. They're wicked, they're nasty, and they want all who want to condemn Marshall. They're wicked because let me tell you something, 90%, check all the doubles there, not this morning. 90% who buy doubles is African. And if they decide to boycott doubles, they will suffer. I hope the Indians buy the bacon shack. Start racial bitches are them.
Thank you. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning. Pushback 4. Before I go any further, I want to say, Madman, with all due respect, you know I have a lot of respect for you, but you see that crap that you just talk about, that people racial against Marshall for what it is. No, that is nonsense. That is crap. Right? A lot of people think that this was a religious thing, but parts of it were not religious. You understand? And you can't just come and say that they're racial because they don't like Marshall or whatever. You understand? And talking about this nonsense about the doubles vendors. Oh, good God, man. I thought we passed all this thing. We beyond all these things. You understand? No. Our next thing, Lennox, I agree with you. I agree with what La Hoqueta said this morning. We are all on the same side. And you see the mischief makers on them? You understand? We don't need that. We don't need that right now at all. And to the caller who talked about Kamala commands the majority of 300 and something thousand people. Apparently they don't be listening when Kamala talking, but coming here to and forming their own opinion. Kamala said it. Every MP were having the review.
Hello? On Santa Cruz? I think we lost her there. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Cop, Lennox Smith. I tell Mike and Andy morning when they come on the program. So the other morning they get this morning. And I hope they're listening too. When they come on, they will get the morning. When people make their contribution to Santa Cruz, when La Hoqueta make one, it's always nice to you. When you make one, it's always nice to La Hoqueta. All the machine of the UNC, you know. People like all your supporters, listen from this strong man, listen from this Labas boy this morning. Listen from the Labas, I'm not talking about Labas boy from the beacon this morning. You better tell me what all the UNC supporters, I'm laughing at all you. If you don't like who, want to like who are this group, who in this group. My ticket will say something. We have one aim is to get rid of this government, boy. You see the rightful thinking person, they don't even use the word racial. I don't know what I get this racial thing from, you know. This racial thing come from all the old people. I don't call all the old people. You see all the old people? Right now we touching shoulders. We laughing, hugging up, drinking with East Indian. We're a multiculturalism country. And when I start to use that word who racial. And when somebody says something about Kamala, when they asked me some stupid question yesterday. And listen, I'm going up and support COP in Bonnie or something. I said, well, they didn't vote the last, when they voted the last time. So I tell you, understand, Lennox. You asked me if I would support him. I said, no. He said, Corey Marcel, your nephew going up for the PNM. So I mustn't feel like I'm not done school, you know. I'm a street boys. And if you come out that they done something wrong with you, especially Miss McKenty. And Mr. Mr. Floyd and these teachers, let me tell you something all here. All them mashing up the program too. All them mashing up this wrong report. This is God killing all of this thing. You see this nonsense all come with every morning? Nobody should be against nobody. I miss Victor Roberts yesterday government funeral. He won the beat him. Andy just come and beat him too. Someone only walk and talk. I don't want to hear nothing who say and who ain't say by. The aim is to get rid of the PNM. So when they ever say asking me, if your nephew coming go for the PNM, they will support him. And my answer was no. There's nothing in the PNM to support, and Kareem Marcel know that too. I blame more you than all you know. You ask me if I will support Kamala Monilal after supporting the UNC. And And if Munila going for leadership, I say whoever is the leader when they'll ever see, the UNC going to win this election. People continue going on this road. UNC will win it. Only people in the shock. If all continue going on this road and then touching the ground, and when somebody make a contribution, all the same to the UNC against the people contribution, whatever madman say he say. When you say, Mr. Naku, you say, we have to stop criticizing one another. It's a racial it's all about. The racial African people are racial Indian people. It's a real nice Indian people. I rather Indian people are more than some Indian people rather themselves. I feel more Indian than all you. I feel like more Indian than UNC than all you. And I'm African. All you need to stop this, stop it. Put an intake. One area boys together this rowdy government boy. This nasty Prime Minister, a man who had sex with a school child by teaching in a school. They have pressurized to gyrate and all them little girls and be politically before election. Gyrate and them little girls. Only politics. Every 4 in the morning he was in Beaton. Some of them girls in some of the pressure lines number now. Eh? I come here every morning. I be listening to know some Peter Cauldron. And Lennox messed up use all them big words. There's not PNM people listening to. I shall well send them and understand what you're saying. You used about 3 big words earlier on. Remember that PNM people listening to Lennox Smith? And Mighty K and Andy, when I hear from all you don't make program week. When people in here already program they'll get week. All that cops stressed out, all the stressed out cops, man. All the stressed out, all the Lennox like the talk. All the other thing now. Mighty K, one day hear you, one day hear Andy, one day hear no assignment. Yes, I wrong all you. Something wrong? Why people in here all you? I don't hear one no assignment. They don't know assignment yet. They did wrong report. I want to stop criticizing one another. And whoever wants for leadership, I might support. The UNC have the grown people support right now, don't lose. Right now the people rather Gary than anybody. Any commissioner ever had it. And they say Gary was bad. I want that commissioner to know all them drinks, all them hustle this weekend. Because he might share and go and thief. It's coming out if I go and thief, you know. You see that drinks the police earlier beat them and cut up the people use the call. All the same thing all they're going about and treat them poor people with. Once a police, twice a civilian, eh? All that sharing, all the living somewhere too. You feel people know what some living stuff come on poor people with them these things. The prison officers stood up by the killing all about. All the advantaging people. I mean, there are police there. A prison officer there. All the kill people too. All the advantage people. I'm going to continue to repeat that people for kill too.
Thank you, Anderson. Good morning,
Pleasant good morning. Pleasant good morning, Cuffs. Pleasant good morning, Lennox Smith. Trinidad and Tobago, Andy Williams, we say all years. Pleasant good morning to you all. Now, Anderson, but up to this point in the program start, go to the head of the class, my brethren. Right? Here why I'm telling you, go to the head of the class. Why think it doesn't hear carnage on a regular basis? Because that's a cha, and no power behind it, no nothing behind it. You know, it is time for Trinidad and Tobago to come together. This race thing, I know one race, half of me had to go over so, half of me had to go over so. That's how Andy is too. Andy's a Douglas. Wait till we to be going on with, wait till we to be talking. We want to get rid of the PNM oppressing we.
and we're only starting to fight on one another. Andy, my brother, here why Carnage had to say this morning to you. Andy, you can't please all the fans. Some will love you and some will hate you. Martin Luther King tried, he couldn't do it. Malcolm X tried, he couldn't do it. Mahatma Gandhi tried, he couldn't do it. All the world leaders tried, they can't please all the fans. Look up to now, Putin start. All of them was one, all of them was allied. Look, Putin starting to it in Ukraine. He can't please all the fans. Some will love you, some will hate you. If we have an aim, if we on a mission, why as soldiers, as comrades, we can combine together, merge together, and be on one mission. Everybody know what we on. But every morning, right in Canada, you call in on a regular basis because that's in a talk. Like it's a talk shop we keep in. It's time for action, oppression, people suffering, people losing their work, all kind of thing going on in the country, and it's this one and that one and this one and that one. That is stupidness, people. That is stupidness taking place in what happened to all you? It's time for me to study to mobilize the country. Mobilize the country like all you know what is going on now. All you hear you know going on now. All you see you know going on. Like all you feel you know going on now. As united we stand and divided we fall, and if we continue down this road, where we heading? Where we heading? They will laugh at me, and when the time reach again, they will fall back in PNM. You understand? Because they see what is going on and they hear what is going on. It's time for we to stop that and do the right thing. All our way is run. Let me stand up as one and do what we're supposed to do now, people. Please, please, I beg you all you, locked on and listening.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, morning. I tell people in this country, the PNP easy to move on. Because you know what they're doing right now? They're going around in all these PNM constituencies, giving people a hamper and giving them money to repair house with a check. The last place there was is in Tunapuna up Mango Road. The checks like water up there and a hamper. These people don't think about the future. All they think is about I get a check and I think and PNM love me. So these people ain't easy. They take bribes with a banana and now they're giving them all of this thing. And in every constituency they're going around with this thing. And if all the people continue at this nonsense, pulling and talking, you no way. You know 49 people lose their class league. And things continue going and going like this. In the UNC, who are the UNC and PNM? Tell me what Indian party is he talking about, because Kamala is of East Indian descent, is an Indian party. About 75% is African in the UNC. Check it out yourself. It's about deputy political leaders are Indian in the party. And people will be talking about race and all kind of things. Let all you continue with this race thing outside it and see what happens to this country. I don't think about the future of your children. If you like the PNM, you can never love your children. Continue and you reach nowhere. All it takes is a banana to get the PNM street back. Alright.
Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Yeah. Something wrong with me. I tell you something wrong with these people in this country, you know. That's why they call me madman. I don't feel nobody, you know. I tell you like it is, you know. So people get a check. Poor people get a check. And they get a hamper. What's wrong with that? Your roof rotten. You get it wet. You're tearing in wet. So you apply to Father Social to fix the roof. They got checks to fix the roof. What's wrong with that? All the big shot and all the roof don't leak, you know. All that no problem in this country, you know. I cannot give out check to fix roof. What wrong with all the boy? What a sick boy.
Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello?
Hello? Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hello? Yes?
Good morning.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yes,
pleasant morning to you. Yes, pleasant morning. Are you listening?
Yes, go right ahead, caller.
Yes, I told you the section bad and on, so I wasn't getting it kind of high and low like, you know. Yes. I want to say blessed morning to everyone in Trinidad. I will say and thank God for another day. Let's put God in our thoughts and our mind and our thinking first. We see the position of the country heading for this morning. It's not just about what's going on or race or anything that I hear that is going on. That's not looking good. Let's live in love. Let's come together in one body, one love. All of us in this country see in trouble, everybody. So let's all go on that this morning. Let's come with love. That man must learn to love his African brother, and the African brother must learn to love you in there. Let's hug, let's love, let's one another, let's kiss one another, let's give one another that hope, that love, that brotherly love, let's bear one another burden, and let's get off this stupidness and all this kind of thing. Trinidad is a sweet country, so it's a nice, beautiful country, but it's just that, you know who have it so, these wicked, dirty, unclean people have the country so. But I would like to say condolences to the family that those men that boatmen who went to fix the boat and who go underwater. Condolences always sad when you hear things like that, and I think one body still down in the water and it's not yet recovered as yet. When we heard the news, I don't know what will take place. I would love to see the dead body. It's always a hopeful thing, but that thing have a lot of thing in it. I would say a lot of trick, a lot of game playing in this thing here. When those lives could have really saved, you see. So we're ready for the pushback for anytime it has called. Your people, you know what you have to do. Come out, and so we should have about 80,000 people out there. When we had that pushback in San Fernando there, although we should have big crowd, we should have crowd past the police station. But you people out there do not mean business in Trinidad and Tobago like other countries. And anytime you don't mean business in this country, you let the door wide open for the opposition. Not for the opposition can't do anything. I hear people talking about the opposition this, the opposition that, to the boss and help and this. But remember the opposition when she was telling them 52,000 jobs. They laugh and they boo and they jail, they make monkey face and all kind of things. When she was telling them about that, they didn't want to listen. She would tell them, what's not to vote the PNM? What you want her to do now? What you all want the woman to do now? When she was telling them, do not vote the PNM. You know, she tell the property tax coming before that election and nobody wasn't listening. What you want her to do now? It's up to you all. The people also go to the street, go about 80,000 people. You want to see it. You people to come out now to do it. Don't depend on the opposition and just one and that one. You all come out and do it because all of you there, if you put one rally there in office, it's easy to put him out.
Caller?
Oh God, you are bitches, some of you out there in your car, your maxi tax this morning. You want to shame, man. Shame.
Hello, caller? We seem to have lost them, unfortunately. Good morning, caller. Morning, caller.
Hi, good morning. I am hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I want to say it is yes. Good morning. I want to say it is good for Andy Williams. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. When Andy Williams, Mikey K, Lennox Smith, and the Ground Report was rallying for the UNC when there was nobody, when all they was getting lawsuits left, right, and center from PNM officials for defending the party, there was no Victor Roberts. There was no other activists out there doing it but the Ground Report. So to hear people come out this morning and condemn Andy Williams, a man who does spend his own money. Yes, good morning, is me. Good money.
Yeah.
Wife. Yes, Lennox, morning. A man who does getting bacchanal for his wife, with his wife and his children for the ground reports and the UNC. To hear them attacking Andy this morning. Me and Andy have a political bacchanal, and that is years. That is no secret. However, where is the justice for Andy on this program this morning? Where is the justice for Andy? The amount of bacchanal Andy getting with the PNM and ground report. How much lawsuit, how much back and forth fights me and Andy get in for the UNC. And to hear people calling today to condemn Andy Williams, I ain't lie. I thought the people in the PNM was brutal when it comes to defending the party, but me and lie, UNC only a different boy. Only really, really different. And Lennox, you surprised me to sit down and allow them to say this about Andy because you've been in the trenches for how long, Lennox? Lennox, since I small, use UNC. I big now, you still UNC. Where was all the other activists? Where were they? No.
Hello?
Pack up and resign from this politics. You don't listen, you know. I told Andy resign and pack up from this politics, but Andy don't listen. So Andy had to continue to go through this over and over and over again. The UNC make PNM look brilliant this morning because I had a lot to say about the PNM when I was going through my upset and vexed stage. And up to today, the PNM accept me with open arms and never show me bad face. And they never leave the UNC. But here the UNC supporters this morning. It's good for you, Andy Williams. Andy, wherever you is this morning, it's good. That's what I wanted to say. Cuff, have a good day. Love you, Cuff.
Thank you very much. Because, are you hearing me, Cuff? Cuff, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, okay, right. Well, I want to say clearly she wasn't at the beginning of the program when, of course, I expressed my irateness. For those who are getting difficulty because they say PNM people are listening, I suppose she is one as well. I want to say that means I was vexed, irate, irascible, vexed. And of course, I did mention that the cause is one, and that is to say to get rid of the PNM, and therefore there must be mischief makers. I don't know what to make of that last presentation. The last person I expected to make an intervention was Aisha Wells. Of course, people that was Aisha Wells there, but of course Andy will have an opportunity to speak on that, and I suppose Mikey would want to speak on it as well. But that being as it may, I did in fact, and I thought it was important, very fundamental. Let me put down the cardinal rule here. The cardinal rule is that we allow people to speak because we are defenders of democracy. You have the right to speak. We'll defend your right to speak, even though, however, what you have to say must not only conform with the rules, meaning that using obscenity and so on is a no-no, but we will expect that you would be very, very conscientious of what you are saying, because this is about swaying public opinion one way or another. And to conclude that somehow from the conversation that would have been derived that people are less UNC, to put it mildly, I think it is a misrepresentation of the facts. People are airing their view. And I don't believe that the ground report will be less for it to be will be reduced or anything like that. What is happening, the 9,000 persons that is out there in the current circumstance, I challenge even the trade unions, the best of them, whether it's OWTU, to get 9,000 persons to come out there right now. And it's of course it's the pushback, courtesy of course this particular program spearheaded by the ground report that has been able to do that. So I want to rubbish any firm position that of course somehow it has reduced the discussion, has reduced the UNC. What is important, however, is that all what is happening, whether it's Victor Robert, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, the only people that could benefit all of what Madman has said and so on, the only people could benefit from that would have been, of course, the PNM. Clearly, in terms, if they take it seriously. But as far as the ground report is concerned, this is about a healthy debate. It is about discussion. It is about the promotion of our right to speak. We will not, of course, I will allow people to give their views, even though I have a different view. And of course, I think we are capable, three of us, including Cuff, of course, to defend our position and to, of course, rubbish any notion that may be contrary to the reality of the situation or the topic that would have given rise to some of these emotions. So, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of emotions, but fundamentally people are defending the UNC, and the only people that could benefit, once again, from any apparent friction, any apparent discord, any apparent controversy will only be the PNM. So I advise the persons when you're making your contributions that you take those factors in consideration. Otherwise, persons who don't know, persons who are ignoramus, people who don't have the interests of Trinidad and Tobago by extension may have a different interpretation, and I think that is where we are at this time. We have a break to take, Cuff, or we go on to open up the lines.
We will take 3 calls and we will.
All right, we take 3 calls. Of course, the numbers to call 229-0251, 229-0251, and of course the other number 239-239-5120, and the WhatsApp number 366-3053. 366-3053. I could say what is undisputed based on Aisha's input is that what she has said about Andy, what she has said about me, of course, clearly is the gospel truth. And anybody who, of course, have looked at the evolution of the relationship and the development of the ground report will, of course, will have to conclude the same. If you are of a contrary view, it means therefore you are mere neophyte, simply meaning that you have just started and you have a lot more to learn. That being as it may, the lines are open. Let's go back to the lines. I would want, of course, us to treat with, and as I said, pushback number 4 must be the operating word, must be the sense word, must be the key word for you to get your contribution aired at this time.
Good morning, caller.
You take about 2 more calls. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go
Lennox,
ahead.
Andy, Mikey, and the ground
Yes.
report. Pushback 4. Lennox, I would like to have a little discussion with you for 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
9,000 people came out in the first call to stand up to tell the government Rowley must go, because the reason that he must go is he infringing on our democratic right and our constitution. People had heard the call. The second time we told them we're coming out again to tell him that mandatory, that our respect our rights as the constitution to us. People came out. They started to put tear gas to intimidate us. The propaganda machine of the PNM is morning. Yes, we want the UNC to be part of it. We want to say no. We are the people going to show that we have the power. And if we want to join, join. But you see, when you want to mash up the organization, what is raining grounds and showing the authority that, hey, people out there waiting to stand up for the rights. You hear all kind of propaganda. The young lady who talked just a little while ago is from 6 in the morning. They have a little break 9 o'clock. They come back 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and then from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and they go in 24/7. But they see no ills because they look at man talk about what's wrong in getting a roof. Yes, nothing is wrong. But why does it don't go across the board where the education system where children supposed to be educated. Why do they can't be home and comfortable learning with this virus? What they use it to keep us in dictatorship. You've seen what Anissa George is doing in the House of Representatives, what Kangaloo is doing in the Senate. Every time they bring a bill, how it is the opposition standing up, but they can't stand by themselves. It's we the people. And when we the people give power to the voice of the opposition and the strength. But no, 1956, it started in 1953, sorry, right? If you know your history, this is the same thing, right? They come just like some callers. They will talk, and yes, I support Pandey, I support Carl Hudson Phillips, and they're fighting amongst themselves coming up the road. And now we modern technology, and we can't get it right. Look in Ukraine, a man going into our next country because why? You want everything. We oil, we gas reserve. We're selling all of them, they've seen it, and we still have time because the PNM get the opportunity. UNC. Because you know why? The punks, like, just watch how a tiger will watch and stalk his peer and then run and get it. But you see, we the people will understand that moving forward, these are things people pelt at you, divert you. Look, the unions and them, they're talking about mandatory and this and that. You see, they call WASA, they tell them to talk. Anything come out of that, TNT people going home, but yet still certain contractors, millions and millions of dollars. And we are the ground. That's why we, the people, is always have to suffer. Look what they do to the people in Bitom. 6 months, neglect, and that is just supporters. And what do you expect with 2-3 fellas who only fought from since 2015, when they say on this radio station, we will stand and give all our voice, and we have our voice, and yes, still we don't know how to talk. And then callers will call and say, why you must push back, why you must share back, why you must do this, why you must do that, shut down. But how if you can get a united front, a united front, all hands on deck. This is all the mantra. People don't listen because you know why? Just let me do a little survey. For the morning, all the callers who called, everybody had a different opinion and objective, right? And at the end of the contribution is the PNM must go. How we must get them to go? Where the public servants and them, they're back to work. 65 years you're going and work for. Where is the benefit? The NS asset going. Where is it? And people understand that? They're fighting for the money, they want money, and they're hungry for money because they need money. And yet still, the hush giving hush money all their constituency, just as they give marijuana tree, and it's always said, for marijuana tree, keep people hush because the youth and them and who enjoying it, them have what they want. So you give me what I want, I take what I want, and I will give you what you want, my vote. How it is Tobago right now? They want self-autonomy. How Tobago? They want investment. They sell out the asset. I hear they want to sell out the hotel which belong to the state in Tobago. But tourism, and if they keep the hotel, they could get money. The Tobago House of Assembly could get money. Where they don't call for forensic audit and financial audit to see for the last 21 years how much billions of dollars will go on. No.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. The message has been properly conveyed. Thank you very much. We just need about two more calls before we go for the break. Remember, there is a time constraint here. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. And once again, I cannot overemphasize the fact that we give everybody an opportunity. What has to happen is that you must use your discretion, but of course, conscientious that the enemy may well be the beneficiary of some of the recriminations that would, of course, ensue. And I think you better be conscious of that. The other thing is the Gong report cannot be accused of not having the ears of everyone, and it is not appropriate to say as well that a major part of those persons who attend the pushback and so on are not UNC. In fact, what we try to do is to reach across the board. It is bipartisan, multi-partisan, as we try to address everybody. Those persons who are reeling as public servants from the potential or legislation that is now before or is being prepared to go before the Parliament, as far as the vaccinated alone must attend work and lose their emoluments, their benefits, and their salary as a consequence of a policy that talks about only the vaccinated must come to work in the public sector. All of those. So we have all of those persons, and they may not necessarily be politically aligned, and that is what Andy was and has been mandated to, of course, promote at total to get as much as possible across the board to reach out to everyone, including, of course, any political party. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Pushback 4 is coming. Lennox, let me tell you something. Yes. That is what Aisha was good for. And every day they listen to this program. When Kingsley said he wanted a phone and he asked Jolene John have other things to do. That is what they do. Come, I will give you a phone. So she trying to say that. So Andy will come. Andy not stupid. Why Aisha Wells does not go and check on the people and beat them? Why Aisha Wells does not help people the way she said she helping people? Let me say something to Aisha Wells. You need to take your time, Aisha Wells, because they kick you out. They pull you in to do their job in Tobago. Look what they get in Tobago. So Andy is not a stupid guy. Andy was there. And PNM is no good party. You know that. But you looking to eat food. You understand? But Andy will not come back there. And we have to know that the people on the ground report is working hard. If Victor Roberts say what he say, that is his business. The ground report pulling out people. I took tear gas, my husband, my grandson, and my daughter. You understand? And we going again. From day one Woodbrook Place. It's all over. I am there with the ground report. And we going at it. Do not let Aisha come. She could say what she want. You understand? She know what she getting. You went to Tobago, thinking the people from Tobago, but they're different, Aisha. They don't want you. You understand? People don't like you. You know what PNM people say you are stupid when you went back? But you know what you're going for. So I would like you to leave Andy alone. Andy wouldn't come over like Kingsley. We are true patriots. Have a nice day.
You see, and that's what I like this program for. Nobody can accuse us of being biased, because here's one that says that all the sentiments that was expressed by Aisha is really crocodile tears. So you know, so we have that, and that is very healthy for a democracy, and that's what we are building. That's what we have said. We have said that our democracy is under threat. Dr. Rowley is a dictator. He has weaponized government against the people, and therefore all of us collectively addressing all of these multiple issues, complex or emotional, irregardless, we must be able, of course, to vent. But at the end of the day, we must not hand to the enemy, which is, of course, is the PNM and Dr. Rowley, and they any opportunity to, of course, gain any traction as far as electability is concerned in the future. And of course, yes, my friend. I swear I heard your voice earlier. Good morning to you, my friend.
Morning to you, comrade. Morning to you, Lennox Smith. Good morning to my brother, Andy Pitbull Williams, and of course our technical director, always committed and dedicated to ensure that the ground report on More 104.7 and Real Media TT reach the homes and to the people, the true patriots. Good morning to you, Cuff. Yes, Lennox, you're so correct. And I want to say before starting, yesterday there was a caller that made a comment about, I believe, shooting politicians along those lines. Andy, of course, was talking. Andy said politically is what he meant. And I know that sometimes we get passionate. We may say things out of the fact that we've had enough and we want to vent. But we have to be responsible, first of all. And of course, more 104.7 FM, the ground report, realmediatt.com. We will always adhere to the conditions, terms and conditions based on the Telecommunications Act. So again, if anyone was offended, it was not meant to be. But of course, we need to be responsible because there are people who are listening and they will, of course, try to look for kinks in the armor when in fact that there's really nothing that they want to touch on that the administration is doing. So they will try as much as they can to sideline the major issues and basically grasp at straws. And hey, the ground report have a broad back. Bottom line. And as I said yesterday, and it's so surprising, I said, listen, I may not like what people do, but I will fight for them to have the right to do it. Of course, if it's in the realm of the law, somebody sang a song that I didn't like, I didn't think it was the best song, but I believe he or she has the right to sing their songs. That's the freedom and liberties that we have as citizens. Some of us may not know it, the basic fundamentals, but we do have rights. And of course, you can express those rights. That's part of, your democracy, and we want to have a healthy democracy. So again, make a contribution, but I know a lot of people are very, very passionate. Lennox, what say you? Lennox? Right. Well, I think we have to take a break off.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, now you know.
Okay. No, I was saying I want once again immediately go to the top of the class because I was making the very point that whites, of course, we may disagree with each other. We must defend to the hilt the right for people to say what they have to say within the constraints that you just outline in somewhat detail, and that is to say, we have an obligation as far as the license of the radio station is concerned. I heard the caller as well, but I thought it was innocuous. But the fact that it could use bullets or gun, of course, conveys a particular connotation to some, and they will only hear that. So that is why I cautioned and I warned that yes, you have the right to speak, but you must be able, knowing full well that there are sensitive issues out there. People take things differently, and therefore there are some words that conveys one meaning to a mass of us, whereas some of us who are more analytical may not see it in that context, and therefore you must choose those words that will be more or less acceptable, rather than, of course, choosing one that would create the kind of need for us to have to explain, as you did very well.
And I think we have cleared that basically. So let's focus back on some of the major issues here that is very disturbing, all that is taking place. And of course, the PNM and the minions would want you to highlight certain things that are just not relevant. So we won't fall for that. We're not here to entertain them. Who don't like who don't like who. At the end of the day, I am not concerned about who's to my right, who's to my left. If you don't like me, walk in front of me. If you want to talk with me, hey, walk side by side with me. But at the end of the day, we are heading in one direction, and that is to restore good governance and get rid of the PNM. It's not about just rowdy must go, because at the end of the day, they're going to take that same bitter, vile, poisonous wine, try to put it in a new bottle and put a label on it, could be a penny label, and try to resell it to you, the people. We are not falling for that. We didn't fall for the whole race card thing. Anything they want, they have to steal it. It's part of their whole political DNA. They steal. They don't want to go mano. Come mano on the issues. Don't look for kinks in the armor. I was listening to the program and I heard something. Whoa, listen to the content. What we were dealing with. An independent investigation, but so much is being omitted from it. Deal with that. Don't start to make excuses because they're wicked like that. They will try to turn the table and do their PR and make it seem as though the divers themselves are the ones responding. No. When did Paria executives know? And when they found out, what did they do? What was their response? And how long did it take them to respond? You see, we can talk about it, people, because that independent investigation cannot be officially made. That cannot be. Not when it says you don't have the union or a family member there. That in itself is a whole, forget that. That is a fraud. But compounded with the fact that Maduro, remember Maduro? Remember the fellow who doesn't want to highlight at all and make it seem as though, hey, we cool with him, but we really ain't down with him like 4 flat tires? No, that did partner, that did brethren. Remember Maduro? Mr. Rima talks about it all the time. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro yesterday expressed his firm support for Russia's special military operation in Ukraine in a telephone conversation with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin. This according to the Kremlin. Nicolas Maduro expressed his strong support for Russia's decisive actions and condemned the destabilizing activities of the United States and NATO. The Venezuelan president also emphasized the importance of countering the campaign of lies and disinformation launched by Western countries. And both presidents, here's where it gets real nice, both presidents also addressed issues of bilateral strategic association and the implementation of joint projects. We're talking 7 miles off the coast. 7 miles off the coast. Both of them agreed to bilateral strategic association and the implementation of joint projects. Are we going to be in the dark over this? And then, of course, you have Jacob. I don't understand these fellas. Stay in your lane. Jacob warns, beware of taste of COVID. Citizens are being warned that if they flout public health ordinance regulations, they may get a taste of COVID and not the taste of carnival that they want to experience. Speaking with the media yesterday, Acting Commissioner Police McDonald Jacob said he had taken note of reports and pictures circulating on social media of partygoers refusing to keep their mask on and not appearing to adhere to the COVID-19 social distancing protocols. All right, and what did the officers do? What did they do? Because they had concert after concert in the savannah, and so strange. At no time did we hear anything from the TTPS that perhaps 10 people, 20 people, let's say even 5 people tried to enter the event and they did not have their vaccination card. You telling me everybody went through so smoothly? Not one person came with one that would have been fraudulent? Is it that everybody remembered to bring it, nobody left it home? And if it is that you have an issue with this, beware of the taste of COVID. Jacob, you will take Parasham job. You go and be the CMO because it was announced as a taste of carnival. How much of a taste doesn't depend on people who feel that they are the ones going to control the taste is carnival. I think that's the part you all didn't underline. Carnival and what it means to the people of Trinidad and Tobago after 2 years. 2 years. You want to contain them in a pot? That kind of energy. Do you know what carnival is? You're so out of sync. And then you talking about you're seeing that people, partygoers, refuse to wear their masks. So what did you do? What did the officers do? Because we all saw the videos. And today's supposed to be Ash Wednesday. So here it is, the Merry Monarch has limped away, stoops in, showing some part of his fingers, and the only cussing is a bleep this and a bleep that because the Merry Monarch is upset. This was a total slap in the face. So much is going on around us, people, and we're still making excuses. We still studying who don't like who, and who say what, and who's, hey, there's one objective here, and that is to rid this country of the PNM. They are definitely no good. How can we move forward? Every day is something happening. And now Maduro backs Putin's special military operation in Ukraine. You have a prime minister coming in and the flight delayed. Everybody waiting for press conference. Up to now, they didn't tell us exactly what went on. What was the cause? Was there mechanical problems? Was there someone that they had to meet? Was there somebody catching a connecting flight? What we don't know. Why is it that we continue to condone a government that operates where it is that we, the stakeholders, are always in the dark? Why? People are living in your house. If your husband do something, you want to know. Even if it is that you know you had to pick up bread and he gonna pick up bread too because he didn't communicate, you're operating in the dark. You don't like that. You don't run your household so why is it that you invested in people to run your business like this, our interest, and we don't know what's going on? How can we condone this? How can we continue? Hey, you take a break or you open up the lines?
Yes, indeed. Well, my friend, I think you have hit the nail on the head because that has been the concern all morning, at least for me, that I have expressed, of course, at the commencement. But let's go for the break, and when we come, of course, I see that we're joined by Andy a little later as well. Well, of course, he will make his input. See you after the break.
With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Don't think twice. Super quality will never be beaten on price. Conveniently located at Twin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Hoover. Experience shopping comfort, wide lanes, and secured parking. Your one-stop shop for variety. Great prices, quality service, and yes, weekly special. Super quality, never beaten on price. Contact them 223-9715. Super quality, never beaten on price.
Home is where you can foster new memories, where you can rejuvenate. Home is where love is, a peace of mind. Home is a house with a land to expand. Home is at the serene Volcano Park or the gated sanctuary of Ella Vista Gardens. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, indoor laundry, and private parking. Starting at $1.275 million, Home is DG Homes, Sangre Grande, 691-5659, 721-9186 or 379-8999. DG Homes, modern and luxurious living for all.
Shiny and Ari, restaurant number 67, Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standard. For breakfast daily, Monday to Sunday, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. On the menu, sada roti, fry bake, roast bake, pie, coffee, tea, Milo, vegetable pizza, pancakes with assorted vegetables. Lunch specials daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Chicken pilau, $25. Assorted lunch from $25 to $40. Soup specials and crab and dumpling. Delivery of food available. Dinner a la carte on the pavement from 6 p.m. until burgers, chicken sandwich, hot dogs, fries and chicken, nuggets, shrimp burger, gyros, and anything else you can think about. Call 382-9347 to place your orders 7 days a week.
This season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Warrell Regis and Company Limited, Sun and Main Road Enterprise, Chaguanas. Services offered are new tire and battery sale. We inspect private and commercial vehicles, mechanical repairs, fleet maintenance, tire alignment, wheel balancing and rotation, nitrogen installation, auto body repair, authorized agency for all major insurance, windshield replacement, wrecking services. We are open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, contact 665-3377. Warrell Regis and Company Limited.
At Queens Beach Celebia Resort, Spa and Conference Center, we have mastered the luxury of getting away from it all. Guests can enjoy our ultra-premium spa or our canopy lounge, nestled in the Orchid Garden, surrounded by lush tropical sights and sounds of the ocean. Queens Beach Celebia Resort, Spa and Conference Center, your eco-friendly resort oasis, located on the northeastern coast of Trinidad. For reservations, please call 226-1456, front desk or mobile 460-4575 and 370-0501.
Come home, it's all you need. A little bit of city in the country. Sangre Grande is the place to be. DG Homes gives you luxury. Affordable, brand new. DG Homes come shining through. Step into reality, a home of possibilities. Dreams come true, it could be you. DG Homes, modern, luxurious living for all.
Looking to complete your home or private project? Well, the place is Midland Hardware. We carry a large selection of roofing and plumbing supplies, lumber, steel, water tanks, and much more. Get your sand, gravel by the bag, yard, or load. No one beats our prices. Visit us at the corner of Sinclair Road and Eastern Main Road, 5 Rivers, or call 646-2144. Midland Hardware.
You juice. And when me drink, we get a natural boost. Ginger, lime, and turmeric. Give away every sickness. Get a bottle of this orange spice. And make a healthy choice in your life. And let me drink up the juice. And let me drink up the thing from the roots. And let me drink up the thing from the fruits. The you juice.
It's More FM Soca Zone 22.
DJ run it again.
For all your new soca, it's More FM.
I turn up the fed till it's on over. I turn up the fed till it's on over.
It's More FM Soca Zone.
There is no better time. Oh yeah, we doing it. 104 doing it.
For all your new soca, we bring Carnival to your home.
Yo, it's yours truly, College Boy Jesse, and right now you're listening to 104.7 Soca Zone.
Look where one lash could do.
Iconic 104.7.
Look where one lash could do.
Yeah, here's my blackie. So put on the safest station.
More FM, Soca Zone. Only place for soca lovers. Give them a lash, More FM.
So put on the safest station. Iconic Radio.
104.7 is the only soca zone you don't have to get vaccinated.
So low we nah. Low we, just low we nah. I said low we nah. Hey, low we, just low we nah.
So we bring the charm, the wave, and the spirit to you.
No card to listen, soca hard on M104.7. Base, AK the trilogy says so.
It's More FM Soca Zone.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M104.7 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report. The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed. We are back. Time check is about 4 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock on this Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Look at that. Already in the first quarter of the new year. The number stuff, I know it's 239-5120. What's the other number?
Uh, 229-0251 is the other number. 229-0251.
There you go. 229-0251 and 239-5120. Let's hear from the good folks on the outside. Good morning, welcome. And of course, you know the access phrase, push back 4. We're ready. Yeah, I want to hear the ready part, man. Push back 4. We are ready.
Good morning, caller.
Lines are open.
Hi, pleasant day to everybody and all listeners. Pushback 4. I am ready and I've always been ready. Yesterday I called and I highlighted, what I just observing and, my take on what I think that the government is doing, which is using these COVID-19 measures to stifle and muffle the people. While I'm saying this too, I'm listening this morning, and it's unfortunate that, we can't get ourselves together to deal with this issue, especially for me as a public officer to deal with my issue and this mandate for these COVID-19 vaccines. What I want to say and I want to suggest to you all this morning, while we figure out what we are doing, they are doing things and they are going ahead, while we're trying to figure out what we're doing here. So in the meanwhile, we need them to understand that it's just that You know, we're not backing down. And they need to understand that at the end of the day, we put them there and we can take them out. So with this being said, I want to suggest something to you guys. All of the viewers, all of the listeners, all of the radio announcers and executives would know of all of the allegations of corruption that is being told by researcher number one. Then all of us who have been calling you will have each and every one of our issues that we have that we want to address by this government. But if we need to realize at the end of the day, everything is just spinning around in like a tub, like a washing machine. The information is not going out to the targeted audiences that we want to get. And who are the targeted audiences? The targeted audiences, the other citizenry of this country, that is the PNM supporters who do not know of these level of corruptions that are going on. That's who we need to target. We need to open their eyes. We need to also open the eyes of the citizens who are sleeping and are unaware of all these issues and all these allegations of corruption. So then therefore, what do we do in the meanwhile? Why we try to sort it ourselves? This is what I would suggest. At the end of the day, how do we target these people in a short space of time while trying to get this message out? Because the government is moving. So this is what I suggest. At the end of the day, I guess Andy Williams and all of you guys would have some sort of relationships with maxi taxi drivers. We target the transportation system. That's the only way we can get these people to hear this information in a short space of time. What do I mean by targeted transportation system? The public transportation system. All cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. All the maxi taxis, all taxis who are willing. This is what we're going to do. You're going to get a flyer, and you're going to create a flyer. And whatever, you're going to ask these maxi taxi drivers and these public transportation drivers to stick up these flyers in the vehicles. Now, this is the crucial part. Whatever you put on that flyer has to captivate the attention of the passenger so much that if it is that you place a link or if it is that you place whatever, just if it is curiosity, if it is just they want to know what's really going on, and they go to that link. And when they go to that link, everything that's being shared here on this radio station all these months, you put that information in an unbiased form where the citizen can see what is going on. Hence, the information will reach the persons, and those who truly want to really know what's going on would listen in. I'm just giving that humble suggestion. While we organize ourselves here, you'll get that done and get all this that we're hearing here on this radio station out to the targeted people. And who are the targeted people? Those PNM supporters who are unaware of all these allegations of corruption. And I'm sure if they hear these allegations of corruption, and all who has family, especially children, who we die and we leave here, any mother, any parent will be concerned to go and Google and see what is going on. So this is just my suggestion to you guys this morning. And once more, I want to let Dr. Rowley know, you're drafting legislation for public officers. What you're doing is very illegal, according to the International Criminal Court, and that judgment that was handed down on the 15th of January 2021. Do not do it. Have a good day, people.
All right, caller, we still there? Caller?
No,
she's
not
gone.
there anymore.
All right.
We have another caller.
All right, we'll take some more calls, and I'll reply to what she was saying there. So go ahead, folks, 239-5120, 229-0251. The lines are open. Get on the inside. Allow you to get some space to bring out your issues, talk about what is happening, and a lot is happening.
Good morning, caller.
A lot is happening. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, welcome. As soon as you get on the inside, go right ahead. Morning.
Push back 4, we pushing. We real pushing.
You ready?
People in this country something. Look, I forget what I want to say. Look how call back is.
All right, caller. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Morning.
Good morning.
239-5120, 229-0251.
Yes, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Lennox,
Morning.
you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead, caller.
I'm Mighty Kim. Good morning. This is Rick Star International from New York. I want to congratulate you guys for the great job that you're doing and the strength that you guys showing, the passion that you're showing, and And I don't want you guys to be distracted by the naysayers and the PNM propaganda. They're trying, because you guys are a fruit-bearing tree, they're trying to dismantle all you. PNM is spending a lot of money and in the trenches to try to divide you guys. They're going to do every nasty living thing that they could think about. I want you guys to be strong and keep the unity amongst yourselves. People are making you guys bash one another for whatever reason. I still raise the PNM at work. But I believe in you guys. I believe you guys are strong. You have one of the best radio shows. You also have the largest organization with the people that not supporting the government. And you have to build in that. Yesterday I was talking to Andy personally, and I told him, you guys have to get into the communities with these down people, the people who have been left back, and talk with them and build the unity and strengthen the organization. And one of the things I applaud you guys for is to keep the politics out while it is politics. It's not a UNC PNM thing, it's the ground report, it's politics. I want to congratulate you guys again, and I want you guys to be strong, stay unity, keep the unity going. And at the end of the day, you guys going to be successful in what you're planning to do and what you're about to do. The people are behind you. Don't let the naysayers and them divide you guys. Thank you so much for taking my call this morning, and be blessed.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. Thank you. Lines are open. Want to hear from you on the outside. 229-0251.
Yeah.
239-5120.
Yeah, man.
Let's get some feedback from you. Morning.
Well, let me tell the auntie this. Hold on, listen. Wake up. What a man just said is true. Andy Williams does build any program on any decision and become a wider listenership, full commercial for the company. Let me tell Mr. Amara 104, the ground reported in right now, right here. Anytime Andy Williams go, we gone.
Thank you, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pushback number 4. Let me get to the point. So much time has been taken up, a proportionate time has been taken up with this nonsense that went on prior. We're talking about masks. I am a regular commuter. Taxi, maxi, or bus. And there is blatant disregard for the protocols. Some people are pretending they are keeping 6 feet apart, but they sit in a bus or a maxi or a taxi. In a taxi, there is less than an arm's length away on either side of you, front, back, or side. In the maxis, it's supposed to take at least, for the most, 16 passengers, 1 for double seat, 1 for single seat. We have couples that immediately turn into Siamese twins, and 2 heads are counted as 1. You have maxis that are overloaded. Buses, the same thing. Some drivers are lenient and they allow all the people to come in. Plus, in one instance, I saw where there were even 3 people standing up, leaving City Gate. So I think this whole thing about masks is a farce, and I support anybody who say don't wear it. I put on mine, but I don't wear it over my face. Only on the buses or in the maxis and taxis, or when I go into any business establishment. But I support the no mask thing, and I don't want to stay any longer because I've been on the phone all the time. So let me go and see if in the meantime Rowley sell my husband while all this nonsense was going on for 1 hour and 57 minutes of the first part of the program. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Who's on the outside? 229-0251, 239-5120. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mikey K. Leno, Cuff, Andy. Pushback 4. Let us be serious about it. Mikey, I have a problem with Lion Stuart Young. These 4 guys, that he was on the television saying these guys fall in to a pipeline. They did not fall in. They went in and they were sucked by a vacuum. PNM started to cover for the CEO of that organization, Paria. They are already starting to cover. The guys, family are suffering, and Stuart Young start to lie. Oh God. PNM only ain't right here, you know. Stuart Young, you just sleep when I come. You know the guys and them get sucked in a new ball, but they fall in. How they could fall in after change pipe? Look, Mikey again, Rex, you know. Later.
I understand, caller. 229-0251, 239-5120 for all the new folks out there that are locked on. These are the numbers that you can get in on the inside and make your contribution. 239-5120 and 229-0251. And a pleasant good morning to the Sister Al Tobago and to all our CARICOM brothers and sisters that are locked on, and those of you out there in Europe and, of course, in North America. Good morning indeed. Lines are open.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Pushback 4. I would like to say Aisha Wells, she's a weak person. And I would say why she's a weak person. Because you choose to look away when you see the radical treatment of your party, and I use party in quotations because I don't believe they are a party, right? And what they have become. Because I'll use myself as an example. Your party, Aisha Wells, has destroyed people's jobs. Your party, Aisha Wells, has destroyed people's lives. And when I say lives, there's many people who have taken their lives due to depression because they cannot say about their family. And depression is on the rise right now. Right now, you can't even check the unemployment rate right now. You can't check it. There's no record. If there's a record, I'd like anybody to direct me to the records of the unemployment rate right now. Because I know it high. I have a friend, right, who was an engineer. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, caller. Loud and clear.
Yeah. I have a friend who was an engineer. And for a year, he's home because they shut down, he used to work Methanex. And they shut down Titan plant. And I was shocked to hear him say that because he had a good job. He now he was living, well, I wouldn't call the place where he was living, but he now got a house and everything. And his business, his place was shut down. And he's home. He had to move back with his parents. Just not too long had a child. He had a young child. Miss Aisha Wells, this is your party. This kind of reminds me of in the early centuries where slavery was going on. And during slavery, people used to, they had people, the white Europeans was a part of the slavery trade and thing. But it was the black people going into the interims of Africa and enslaving other tribes and bringing them. This is what Aisha Wells reminds me of, because you're enslaving your own people under bondage now. But because your life good, you decide to turn a blind eye. I am one of the people who suffering for work right now, and I have a family. Aisha Wells, your party is doing that, not the UNC. Your party is doing that, right? I have a family that I have to see about. I have to worry about. We are getting money to get food. We are getting money to get them to go to school and things like that. And your party, Aisha Wells, not the UNC. As much as they want to put everything on UNC, party, is causing all of this. But you choose to turn a blind eye. You're a weak person. You are a weak-minded,
all right, spiritually. I understand everything that you're saying, but I want us to make sure that the target and what we are focused on here and the objective is to rid the country of the PNM. I don't come here to be on personalities. Who weak, who strong, none of that is relevant. At the end of the day, you have to understand that sometimes you may have to sympathize with the oppressed because they condone the oppressor in his or her actions. And that's just how it is that they're chained up. They can't help it. So I'm not here to look at personalities, whether whoever, this one or that one. The fact of the matter is that now you have people who are talking about their own party, their own government is not doing enough PR. They have the audacity, and this is how out of sync and how ignorant these individuals are. They are upset that the government is not talking about their accomplishments, when in fact there are no accomplishments. So what are they going to talk about? You upset because the government doesn't do enough PR. What PR? There were 3 basic fundamental things. Understand that. If you want to look for kinks in the armor of the ground report, go right there. We could take that. Regardless of how you feel about Andy Williams, Mikey K, Lennox Smith, Cox, how you feel about Santa Cruz, Guru, none of that is relevant. There were 3 basic fundamental things that you had to do. Let's put that on the country's report card and look at it and see what grade that you deserve. Number 1, you were supposed to mobilize resources to guarantee workers income loss. That's an F. You didn't do that. You were to prevent total closure and in some cases bankruptcy of small and medium enterprises. That is the machinery. That is part of the economic machinery of the country. And you were to provide social assistance and support for the most vulnerable. The most vulnerable. No country can move forward and leave the most vulnerable behind. You get an F for that. So that's 3 F's. You fail. So we can't deal with personalities. They have their own problems. They're caught up in their own web of lies. They are deceiving themselves, and we have to understand that. They are talking about the fact that their own party can't touch the ground. What ground? What ground is there to touch? There's no need to touch the ground. When you have men recusing themselves from cabinet record times, almost 100 times, they never recused themselves from cabinet because it was something that had to do with Laventil. They didn't recuse themselves from cabinet because it had something to do with MOVA and BTM and the environs. They didn't recuse themselves based on the fact that it had something to do with education or energy. They recused themselves from cabinet because of their personal interest, and it would have been conflicting because they were part and parcel of whatever came forward. That's all it was. It's about themselves, their friends, their family, and their finances. And they fail. So sometimes you might have to sympathize with these people because of their weakness. But right now they're arguing, they're fighting because the party and the government can't do PR. They ain't saying what they accomplished. They have accomplished absolutely nothing. 3 basic fundamental things, and you failed. There was no safety net. You didn't put an economic lifeline out for small and medium enterprises. You didn't help them to keep the lights on so the wheels of the economy would be spinning. That wheel is only spinning for a selected few. So you have to sympathize with that. That's just who they are. We can't be talking and wasting time on them. We're not here for personalities. We have to rid the country of these taxing lying thieves. This thing is serious, people. Every Monday morning there's a problem. They fail 3 basic fundamental things, and they fail. Get that through your head. If the PNM wants to confront you, tell them that you have 3 things to do, and you couldn't do it. You just could not do it. 239-5120 and 229-0251. You're not on personalities. The minute you fall for the trappings of that personality thing, they go tell you, listen, Rowley is no longer the leader, and they have a new leader, and we're moving forward. And they say, hey, that doesn't change the fact that these people have never had policies and programs to benefit us. Only the selected few that they ride with, that they line with, that they hang out with, and that they thief in unison with. That's all that matters to them. They care nothing about us. Who's on the house there?
Hello. Morning.
Morning.
people must understand one thing on this show. There's people who will be paid to make mischief with their mouth on this program, to separate people, to get people on all this kind of racial things. You must understand that. Just ignore these people. Don't study them. You have a mission to fulfill here. Get rid of the PNM. And that's what you want. When you hear these clowns on the radio talking the race talk and all this stupidness, just ignore them. Pitbull, don't take on nobody. Come back here.
Nice. Who's on the outside? Your time to shine. Get on the inside. 239-5120, 229-0251. We're not on personalities, people. We can't get sidelined and derailed by that nonsense. Morning.
The enemy is the PNM, brother. That's facts.
That's
enemy
right.
is the PNM. Okay? It's run by a certain group of people that control the PNM. Them watch the PNM result. PNM could never come up and say, hey, look, I built 50 schools, I built 10 hospitals, I built 15 police stations, I fixed all the road in Trinidad, I giving people water. PNM cannot say that, you know. They could never do none of them things. All they could say, they thief billions of dollars, they dividing the country by race. That's what they could say. But the performance-wise, PNM could never say they perform to help develop Trinidad and Tobago, to unite the people. The only thing PNM have is Trump card is race around. Because watch every election come, PNM always use our race card. Election don't pass that they never use our race card. They always use our race card. And if people keep on falling for it, people will be smarter than that. No let the PNM use that stupid card what they're doing for years and years to try to divide all you and keep all you down in slavery time. Be better than that, we smarter than that, we in 2022. Be big wiser than that. Vote for performance. It's only the only people that getting out of this, out of the PNM is the 1% finances, and the poor people keep on suffering. They're inventing laws to keep them down. And we, as people, as human beings, be smarter. Don't make them be stupid. All right, wake up and put this stupid thing we call race. There's only one race, and that is the human race, and there's right and wrong. And PNM represent evil, and we have to get rid of this evil PNM government. Thank you.
There's right and there's wrong. Simple as that. Look around you. Here's where we live. Who's on the outside?
Good morning, caller.
Blessed Mr. Cuff, morning.
Good morning.
I push back 4 coming, right? Mikey, blessed day. Pitbull, wherever you are. And everybody at Trinidad and Tobago. This is our country. And the party politics is a mashing of the things. Because we need a unity with everybody. Because whatever going on affecting everybody, directly or indirectly. You know? So I want to tell you brothers and them, forget about that segregation and party thing and race thing. Because this is one country. But I'm always saying, country before party. All the people country before party. Right? So, Mikey, cry again. Oh God. All you wake up. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up. Yeah, man, this is Jungle Man. Blessed love. All right.
Hey, before we go back to the lines, let me just share with you, folks, because I did mention to you last week that the pushback committee, headed by the Chairman Robert Amar, and of course the Stakeholders United movement, the interim executive, did make some requests to the former Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith. And he did, of course, provide the information based on the questions that were asked. So I'm going to share with you, I know Mr. Amar would have touched on it yesterday, but let me go into detail and share with you all the information now. Issue number 1, AV oil. Was this matter referred to the DPP, or can you advise what would have been the next step based on the details which have been in the public domain? I want to repeat that for you. Issue number 1, AV oil. Was this matter referred to the DPP, or can you advise what would have been the next step based on the details which have been in the public domain? The response that we got from the former Commissioner of Police: the court ruling has nothing to do with the police investigation. The police investigation was very active to the point that we needed an engineer contracted for us to verify what we acquired in our initial findings. For months, I kept asking the government to provide me with the funding to hire same, and I was ignored. Issue number 2, the Annan Ramlogan and Gerald Ramdeen issue, where there is now a state witness. Was this issue finally passed on to the DPP, as there seems to be a constant delay to act legally? Is this an intentional, convenient delay? Reply from the former commissioner, that matter is also ongoing. Our slow justice process is causing the delay. And I believe that they have put aside. Okay, no. All right. Issue number 3. What is to be the next step with Camille Robinson Regis? Is this now in the hands of the Integrity Commission in Public Life team, or is this for the DPP? It is in the hands of the DPP, according to the response from the former Commissioner of Police. All right. Issue number 4. The issue with the live sport. Is this a dead issue, bearing in mind that the main person involved has died? Will this also die legally? Response from the former commissioner, negative. There's still an active investigation on this. Issue number 5, email gate. Is this case now a closed and accepted issue by the police? Yes, according to the response we got from the former commissioner, yes. It should never have been commenced. A fake email littered with irregularities to verify that it was a poor attempt to pretend was an email, when there were numerous typos to verify that it could never have been an email. But typical Trini politics, I find something in my mailbox and you push the lie over and over and hope citizens believe. That was the response from the former commissioner. Issue number 6. Well, of course, this issue with Mally McDonald is now before the court. It is for the justice system, right? Issue number 7. Prado's involved in Ramlogan. Is this to be pursued? Was there 2 units with the same details, 8 body cams? Was this contract completed? And what plan was left to be followed to improve the system and protect the police? Reply, very simple. Never issued before I took office. I made it mandatory for use for units when on foot patrol. I requested additional funding to ensure that any officer who leaves their vehicle must have it switched on. Funding never given. In fact, IMBUD reduced TTPS budget by over 300 million in a time when during COVID and SOE expenses would have escalated. All right. We did ask some other questions, of course, on the DSS money here. But he did reply on the issues of the DSS money fees and return. Is there any additional money in custody? I apologize for that. So there's some other things that was not replied to. I say, let me share that with you. So the lines are open once again. We did get some replies, and hopefully we'll get some more from the former commissioner.
Good morning, caller.
Hey, Mr. Good morning to you, Mikey. Mikey. Hello?
Morning, welcome, morning.
Yes, man. Mikey, I just going to make a little 2 cents. I'm not getting into the internal bacchanal, but I cannot understand people eating Roger food today. I can't understand that. You must say, my sympathy go out to the 4 individuals who lost their lives innocently. Of course, we have to stand with these 4 people. And let me say, may God bless this family in pain at this time. But when I see Roger, what have us in this? Roger tell us vote PNM, don't vote UNC. Twice. Tell us that. When he think that he was going to get the oil refinery, he come and cuss Kamala. How we could forget so?
So we want to sleep with the devil now? A blind man, a known caller, used to call in here. He on the dying days. He used to warn us. He used to tell us about Roger. Now looking for a lifeline. You want me helping now? You want me go up by a parry and protest? Stop sucking on this foreman dead.
Hello? All right, so you see there was, Roger. 239-5120, 229-0251.
More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, thank you. So, lines open once again, 239-5120, 229-0251. You know, on the issue of that, and I said it yesterday, there should be a union rep involved in this independent investigation, and along with family members as well. I have a serious issue where that is concerned. Very serious issue. As a matter of fact, I have some questions, but again, we'll allow them to go through their process and see where the chips fall, but there's a lot more questions than answers here. Morning, welcome. Lines are open, 229-0251, 239-5120.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning, guys. A beautiful morning it is. No, we had some controversial issues this morning, but to let everyone know, we wanted a vehicle to take us forward. The ground report came forward, and we are where we are at this point. We have been united to some extent so far, and moving forward, we hope that we can get more people on board. So we want them to buy into what we have, what is a people's movement. As it said, stakeholders united movement, and all stakeholders. As citizens of this country, we should not be discriminated against. There should be no segregation. There should be no injustice. And we are having all of those where our freedom is being removed. There is no democracy anymore. There is more of a dictatorship. And we cannot sit idly by and let even more evil fall in our path. We have to do something. So we are not going to let distractors derail us from what our vision is. And we have a vision for our beloved country. We have toiled and we've worked and we've built it to where it was, and we do not like where it is today, because it is going down a slippery slope, and we all know that. What legacy are we leaving for our children, our grandchildren, those in the future, even the young ones right now who are unemployed, and there's no hope of getting employment anytime soon? So we must agree to disagree, and we do it in an amicable way, because everybody has a view, everybody has an opinion, and they are entitled to how they think. We are not going to fight over people's opinions. We have a greater purpose, and we want to keep our eye on our target. So I implore every one of us to ensure that we give our support to the pushback movement. We have pushback 4 coming up soon. I can tell you we have been at pushback 1, we have been at pushback 2, we have been at pushback 3, and we certainly will be, God permitting, at pushback 4 when it is announced. And we want that kind of dedication from all our supporters. We have to be level-headed in what we have to do and in what we say, and do not get distracted. So that's my contribution. This is Miss Balmain. My contribution for this morning. Let us have love. Let us have unity. Let us have peace moving forward. Thank you.
Yeah, let's be focused. Thank you so much. I agree with you, Ms. Balmain. I certainly do agree with you. This is not about looking for personalities and talking. The fact of the matter is that there's too much wrongdoing taking place, just too much. And if it is that you remain silent, it means that you support it and you're condoning the actions of this government. Our democracy is being stifled. The minute you gather, imagine, the police seems to be there to resist where it is that the family members want to see the bodies of their loved ones. No. You know, they stand up there, they want to get answers from Paria. People are gathering, they want to know what's going on. We're talking about human life here. The police wants to know, hey, too many people gathered here. You have to think back there. But at the same time, all the jumping and prancing that Jacob was talking about, who went fat, who refused to put on masks. What are you talking about? I mean, it just does not make sense. Wrong is wrong. Who's on the outside?
Yeah, morning, Mighty K, morning.
Morning.
Calling from Pinal, Mondial. I'm a proud PNM boss. I'm a proud PNM. I want to tell you an achievement your PNM did. You want to hear it? My PNM government built a bus shed somewhere in Port Spain. I never see it, but here the ribbon was shiny when they cut it. I never stand up on it, but here it was bright. That is achievement for a government. They then take that in their pocket, smoke it. Proud is the PNM in Mondiablo.
All right, you get your bus shed. Yeah, baby. Who's on the outside?
Good morning, gentlemen. Again, I have something I'd like to bring forward for you and the public. Is what a wonderful world. Are we living in a world that we got lost in? Or are we so hurt deep within? Are we going to just sit and lie down and suffer? What strength and courage we have, we must utilize it together. It seems that in all we have to hold on to now, we must not go forward with doubts. Be strong anyhow. At this crucial moment, we cannot only think about ourselves, but all those that are in need and cannot afford to help themselves. At this time, selfishness might be the cause of decay. Many struggle and disappointed need in many ways. We must believe in that inner enlightenment. Within many may find the way of contentment. Let us not walk blindly in a world in distress, for there are serious matters and issues we all need to address. We must stabilize our body, mind, and soul, and defeat the pandemic and the oppressors, and declare, oh my God, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
Who's on the outside? You know, and interesting again, some of the responses that we got from the former Commissioner of Police saying that as far as the AV oil, the court ruling has nothing to do with the police investigation. And the police investigation was very active to the point that we needed an engineer contracted for us to verify what we acquired in our initial findings. And for months, he said he kept asking the government to provide the TTPS with the funding to hire the individual, and it was ignored. Very interesting. And then, of course, on the issue of the email gate, He said that it should never have even commenced. A fake email littered with irregularities to verify that it was a poor attempt to pretend was an email, when there were numerous typos to verify that it could never have been an email. But of course, typical Trini politics, I find something in my mailbox, and you push the lie over and over and over and hope citizens believe. That's interesting. So, okay. Lines open.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning again. Pushback folk. Mikey, these people from Diego Martin, Lavantil, Beetham, Faizabad, these people love the PNM, and the meaning of PNM promises never materialize. And the second meaning of PNM, pressure, Negro more. They will always stay there and be pressured, and they will suffer. They will never see the right way to go, because they are always pushed in a corner with the wrong information. They love the stupidness. They will never listen to the 104 with all the true facts that you all bring to them. Aisha Wells and them will always poison them with stupid talk, and they will never listen to the truth that you guys have been producing for the few years. They will never listen to the right thing. I'm sorry for them.
I think we are tracking the people. Hold on there, sir. I think Andy himself was talking about this yesterday. We have a movement for the people, by the people, with the people. There are those who still want to stay on the sidelines, and of course, you can't help it. That's just who they are. There are people who believe that if they don't participate, nothing is going to be successful. So they believe in the Star Boy and the Star Girl. That's fine. We don't need them. We're not catering for them. There are those who you will try as best as you can to shed some logic on all that is taking place, and they will still tell you they're going to be something until they die. We ain't catering for them. Understand your role. Understand the objective here. This is not about individuals, and this is not about trying to go head on with a culture. You're talking about people who have believed that is embedded in their psyche based on a generational lie. There's a sense of hate that they themselves can't even say where it came from, how it emanated. All they know is that we ain't supposed to like this group, and that's it. All right, and we ain't cater for that. And the more we continue to try to find out what it is that makes these people move, how they're engineered, how they're driven, we're simply wasting time. We ain't catered for that. They are not the ones who are going to stand up and say, listen, democracy is being stifled. We have to stand our ground and push back. They're not going to be there. They're not on your right. They're not on your left. Please, stop looking for them. They are not going to show up. These are not the individuals who are going to say, listen, man, people are dying. I lost loved ones under a tent. They are not going to talk about it. Even though they're suffering, they will suffer in silence. Put on a good face. Go in one of them little sheep pen that they have in the savannah. Prance and dance and make you believe that all is well in this country. We do not cater for them. They exist. Understand that. But we don't have to acknowledge them. We don't. Understand the people that come out when we say push back. These are people who put their shoulders to the wheel for productive TNT, and now they're on the breadline. Every night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, these people getting up. Sometimes they can't sleep all 11, and they're studying, where's my next move? The bank calling, the credit union calling, the insurance lapsing. Oh God, then I had to pay car insurance again. I studied whether to give up this car, what to do. I was an engineer, now on the road. I like an Uber driver. I had to pick up because I had to live, I had to survive. That's the reality of pushback. Because it hits you. You understand. You can't just look at Junior and look at your daughter and say to yourself, hey, I given up. Trendo asked, my grandmother always said, Trendo asked to come here, you know. And they still didn't ask to come here to suffer. Yes, you have a responsibility, you owe it to them. That the life you have, you provide better than what you had coming up. But every corner you turn, every how you try, you just seem as though you can't make it. You're lost. This government can't shed a light because they themselves operating in the dark. They need COVID more than anything else. While the rest of the world is telling COVID bye-bye, they still want to embrace it, they still want to hug it up because that is the only thing they have that's propping them up in office. And that's the only thing that they can use to push us back when we're standing our ground and pushing forward. They need COVID. What does that tell you? And they're still studying personalities. Who don't like who don't like. What are you doing for your children if they don't like you? What are you doing for your children's future if they're talking bad about you? What they're doing for Trinidad and Tobago is every day they want to talk about race and all these issues. It does absolutely nothing. So why do you acknowledge them? You don't need them. It's not like oxygen. You need them to breathe. You don't need them. You are the ones that's suffering. Sometimes you turn and ask your mommy, daddy, it's still on eating or no, we eat already. You and your restaurant, your brother and sister, all eat. Because you know why? You can't go in that pot. You have to sacrifice in order for them to have food in their mouth. That is the reality. Some of them leaving school just now and you saying to yourself, my God, where they were going, I can't afford to send them nowhere. They can't go and study in Canada. They can't go and study anywhere. I have no money. Every day I was stripping away at the little college fund that they had, thinking, well, next month I go put it back, I go put it back, I go put it. How much things you strip away at with the hope that you can put it back, and God knows you can't find a way to put it back. That is the reality. Stop studying people. Let people study you. But we have to unite. If you don't like me, fine. If you don't like the ground report, fine. That's okay. I'm not going to use this platform to send any message to anybody. But at the end of the day, you know your responsibility. You know what has to be done. Enough is enough. These people have no problem with simply turning this thing and spinning it on the divers. That is their fault. You hear the kind of conversation they're having? You know, sometimes they take a job and it's risky and you don't know. Yes, they're apologetic because that is their role. Let the people do their work now and ask yourself, what kind of work you doing? You know what Aisha doing. You know what this one doing. You know what that one doing. But what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? No children. Every time you phone when you're playing done, you don't know this number. It could be the bank. It could be somebody that you're owing. And it's rowdy and them have you living so. Is the PNM have you uncomfortable? Is the PNM destabilize your life? Is the PNM that have you off balance? Is the PNM? That is where you have to make sure you tattoo it on them, well into the chest, make sure and bolt it and wrap it around the neck of the band-aid because it's them who have you suffering. Who's on the outside?
Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Pushback 4 coming soon. Good morning, Mikey K, Lennox Smith. I want to say good morning to Andy Williams, wherever he is, all the Ground Report supporters and listeners, local and foreign. Mikey, you're so right. Now, all the time I was trying to call is exactly what I was going to say. But you don't take that part, so I'm going to leave it so. The part of the COVID, and the reason why the government need the COVID, and Mikey go to the top of the class this morning, I call back because my call go and drop.
I understand. 239-5120 and 229-0251.
Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Make a contribution. Morning.
Are you alive? They probably forgot they called in.
The numbers once again 239-5120 and 229-0251. Morning, welcome.
Morning. Pushback. You see everything you just said there about food and churn? That's very right. Right now people looking for work, and whatever little work they get in, crumbs. They're begging the employer, please do not put my money into the bank, because they owe in the bank. So if the money goes into the bank, they get none. They are being paid like Spanish now, cash. And that is where we reach to. And like I said, everything you said there about the children and the food and everything, that's right. We leave it for them. And the people who are getting up 11, 12 and 1 in the morning and studying what are going to do. You're correct. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, caller. 239-5120, 229-0251.
Good morning, caller.
Morning. That's to all, man. Mikey K, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith. You know, see, that's so true, eh? That these people and them so hardly people so programmed that Kingpin Rowley just doing what he wants. He just doing what he wants. Look in the courtry for the schools, for the children, they want to stop it. I just was saying, if the parents and the people suffering, they watch it that way. Food card, the cutting the one, the social welfare, to go to the pensioners. I'm not thinking I'm going to talk about again. I'm not feel like a plea to the people again, boy. Oh God, boy. People listen, boy. That man do what he want, boy. Like that man keep working over or something, or? Oh, no, man, people chop it so, boy. Papa bless the brothers. Only take care of yourself.
Thank you, caller. Keep the faith.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. And good morning to all of you. And I'm listening to your program, and I'm a first-time caller. The guys concerning the...
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. To the with regards to the divers, and you know all the pushback, but you know I'm living in a disgusting society, and I'm so sorry to say this, because probably Trinidad and Tobago is the only country that the citizenry doesn't understand that they have the power and they're not exercising it. As a matter of fact, you know, there are certain festivals that we have in this country that everybody comes together and be as one. Remember when there was Shogun, no crime, everybody, you know, just fell into place and do what they needed. Why don't we can't stand up to politicians? Now, keep in view, I did not say PNM or UNC, because to me, both of them is the same thing. You know, we need to have new blood, new politicians, and we need to make a change in this country, because I am 52. Ask daughters, what am I leaving for them? And the citizenry of this country has to understand, if we don't, our children and our grandchildren will never see a beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. I saw it once, and I don't think I will ever see it again if we continue on this footing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen. Dick, what is so important? What is related to be exchanged with?
Caller, you're breaking up.
We're not conversation in order to see if you can win an election, right?
Caller, you were breaking up. You didn't.
Caller, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, caller. You're breaking up. Let's see who's on the outside. 239-5120, 229-0251. Let's see who's on the outside.
Good morning to the ground report. Stand up, push back. Pushback 4 is coming. Mikey, Trinidad and Tobago right now doesn't have a school for the blind impaired children. Do you know that? Blind and impaired children in Trinidad and Tobago remain home. We had one school in Santa Cruz. They closed it down. All over the world, blind and impaired children in school, coming out of school, they go in university, they're having a future just like anybody else, but in Trinidad and Tobago. After 59 years of independence, we doesn't have a school for the blind and impaired children. And every time they go to talk, they talk about the most honorary. What really going on? The education minister talks so much, she visits school. You ain't hear one word about the blind and impaired. Where are we going with that? Why we must leave them behind? They try to integrate them into the normal school. They cannot cope because when a teacher have a whole classroom to see about, do you think that they have any time for the blind and impaired? We have school places that we could place them. We have people could take care of that. Why they are not saying about the blind and impaired children? It is not right. We must seek their interest. There's many of them who want a better life. So I'm putting this out there for the nation to look into it, to talk, because we have family not talking out, have the blind and impaired children home and cannot get no help for them. They cannot even get a grant to help some of them. You have a nice day.
Thank you, caller.
We have another caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, welcome.
Yeah, man. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. Pushback 4 on the way, man. Listen, gentlemen, you see the situation that going on with these divers and thing. I hope the families, if that this the one that remain alive, make sure and keep them alive, because these people, and then remember that Mr. Manning said, "Show me a liar, I'll show you a thief." Well, show me a thief and I'll show you a murderer. Right? These people and them are killing the people in the country. We need to secure this guy and we need to get to the bottom of this situation. All right, thank you, fellas.
Thank you, caller. I want to hear from the good folks on the outside. I mean, we know exactly what has to be done, but I want to hear it from your perspective this morning, giving you some time to weigh in on the issues, all that is taking place. Morning.
Morning, Mikey. Mikey,
morning,
when you want to give one man 10 jobs, you're stressing out the man. That's easy. The man can't make proper decision, right? You have the man on 10 board, and then for the man to go home in the night to be struck down by the speaker, that's easy, you know. For one man.
You know, so much is being said about this entire issue, Cup. When you listen to some of the things that are being said,
we have a caller.
It really makes you wonder.
Good morning again. I want to push back I want to say something about this OSHA. You see, OSHA, I have no faith in them. You see, anything with government institution, have no justice with them. I have a matter going on with OSHA since in 2016 with a company from Santa Cruz where a dog bite me and now coming out with it in the open. I call many programs. They told me about $500 to come on the TV. I won't call no names there yet. Right? I don't have $2,500. This dog bite me and no justice. I remain in hospital for weeks and months. Came out, was bedridden for months. No work, no employment, no NIS. I called already and I told you all about lawyer and things. Right? No justice for the OSHA. Right now with this divers and them here. Right? I want to see what justice OSHA is going to give to the families. I have no faith in OSHA. And right now I'm trying to get them to dig back up my investigation and come back. But no one is, I keep calling them, no answer. Who can tell me when last they call a government institution and get through? Yeah? Always a tape recording. Please hold. Voicemail is full. No faith in OSHA. Enjoy your day.
No thing in OSHA. OSHA is laid out with policies, people, that of course experts in the field of work safety would have laid out, and they are global standards that one has to adhere to, right? But what's missing here, what's frustrating here, and again condolences to the family, is the disconnection, the lack of compassion, the lack of understanding that these individuals, of course the tanks came off, apparently they lost the tanks, these divers, and they found the air pocket and they were calling for help from the air pocket. These are initial reports. It is to be hearing somebody crying out for help, banging, pleading, begging, and that didn't connect with individuals who would be telling the rescuers who went down and rescued the last man that went in that we will not allow you to get into the water and save these people. Who is the individual that gave such an order? What is the name of the individual or individuals? You couldn't connect with that? What were you trying to hide? I mean, normal human response is to go there and help preserve life. Assist in any form or fashion that you can. Why would somebody stop you and tell you, hey, no? And you're hearing people banging and pleading and begging. Years now we have been trapped. No oxygen, no economic oxygen, no medical oxygen, no educational oxygen for the young ones and for those who want to advance in their careers. And we have been banging and begging and crying and pleading. And of course, nobody hears, nobody cares, because nobody's hearing us. So this can't be about individuals, people. We have to remain focused. Understand that. Coming up next, Robert Tamar, Ruby Gem, Sense and Sensibility. They're going to take you through the mid-morning session. And of course, tomorrow I'll be joined by my colleagues. Have no fear. Pitbull is strong. Please, don't fall victim to any kind of rumors and old talk. And we're not here to entertain anybody. Right? You don't like the ground report, we understand that. We accept that. You don't like the supporters, you don't like pushback, fine. You know why? You're comfortable. All that is taking place is not affecting you. And if it is, you would rather take that in silence and still show that you're loyal to something that you're going to stay with until you die. The rest of us, we ain't going down that road with you. All right? Folks, it's been a pleasure as always, and it's always good to hear the feedback from you. Tomorrow, God willing, we will continue to be safe out there. And we have to make them hear.
Do we have
They must hear. They will hear. Hey, later on, corridor transformation, Leonard Smith, and don't forget any First Citizens Bank account number 23000045. That's 00023000045. So thank you so much for your commitment and dedication, always being on the ball. Hey, folks, we are out of here. Until tomorrow, be safe.
The Ground Report. Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions